Okay, two columns fixed with layout. This time let's make the layout fixed with instead of fluid. Okay, let me let me try page layout. I think that is the name of this. Yeah, page layout with CSS. CSS. Um, one. This multi-column layouts using floats. Using floats. Okay. So quickly create a email and where is design.css. Okay, so we start with the doc type. Was it HTML? I don't even remember, dude. It's been so long. I need to revise things. Let me take a look. Yeah, okay. Doctor HTML is within. Okay, HTML. We start with HTML. HTML. For chicken, I go to settings. Auto completion. I've had auto completion. Okay. When enabled, pressing tab will insert the best matching completion. And is there a language? Autocomplete autocomplete selector. Autocomplete trigger. Autocomplete on tab, false. Additional situation to trigger autocomplete. So I'll go with autocomplete triggers, and this is nothing, empty. Okay, let's try that again. HTML still. But anyways, HTML. The head. Within head I have meta. Okay. Meta cassette is UTF-8. Title. Two column layout. Body. of body. Within body, let's mark let's have a header. I think header comes in the head, right? If I'm not wrong, header should come in the head. There you go. There is no header. Special occasion. Okay, so we have a intro, dev. I think I don't know. Okay, we'll have paragraph. I'll just put random data from the book. Let's put this. Huh. Oh yeah. And let's give this an ID. Give this an ID of first. Right. Then I'll have another paragraph with ID second. Right, so let me quickly take a look at how it looks right now. Right, okay. So I will start designing. I don't even know where do I just put right everything. Then the head, right in the head I put style equals style relation equals design.css. I think style, if this is the right way to do it, I don't really remember. External style sheets. There we go, external style sheets. Okay. Style menu.css. Okay, link. Okay, we can use the link, or we can use the import within the style, and link is done always in the head. Okay, so link, and the relation is style sheet. Style sheet, and the position. Okay, and for that I don't need the style tag. Link, and the position is CSS. So first I'll go first. I want to float it to the left, then give it a width, or give it a width of say 70% of the page, right? And that's and margin. Okay, so 65 margin 0, 5% 0 and 0. Okay, and then we float the second one. uh, we float it to the left too, but this time we give it a width of, let's say, 25%, and the remaining margin. Okay, so this, it has a margin on the right, and I will also add a margin on the right for this. Okay, so this 5% of margin, margin. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Okay, and if we resize it, it will resize accordingly. Great. Okay, so that is the first way of doing things, right? Okay, this is the first one where we just margin to the left on the right, and 25, and again on the right. Okay. Okay. Then I have two columns fixed with layout. This time let's make the layout fixed width instead of fluid. The strategy: wrap the content in a div to which we can set a specific pixel width. Okay. We'll specify pixel values for the floated elements as well, but the floating and clearing method is the same. Okay, so the result is here. Layout. Fixed width here. Then we have width 960 pixels, wrapper. Okay, wrapper ID. Total wrapper is 960 pixels. Float 660 pixel, margin 20 pixel. And then okay. Also, content in the wrapper div has been set to very popular 960 pixel width. The width and margin have been changed to pixel measurements as well, taking care not to exceed a total of 960. See, this thing is important. Then the width and margin have been changed to pixel measurements as well, taking care not to exceed a total of 960. If they added up more than a width per container, we'd get the dreaded float drop. Keep in mind, if you add padding or borders, the total of their widths would need to be subtracted from the width values to keep the total width same. Okay, two columns fixed width centered. Okay, at this point it's really easy to center the fixed width layout. Set right and left are auto. Margin. So we at this point it's really easy to center the fixed width layout. Set the left and right margin on the wrapper container to auto. Right. It's centered. The markup is exactly, hey, if I go right, if I go body, right, and within body I set margin of 0 and auto on the left and right, so it will always be centered, right? Okay, we only need to add a margin declaration to the styles. Easy as pie. The resulting layout is here. Okay, the auto margin setting on the left and right sides keep the wrapper centered in the browser window. Our fixed width layout is now centered in the browser window. full with headers and footers. If we wanted the header and footer to be full browser width, but also wanted to keep the content between uh, fixed width fixed width and centered, change the markup so only the main and extras are inside the wrapper. Everything else stays on the two column fixed center. Okay, great. Three columns fluid layout. Okay, I suspect you're getting the hang of it so far. Now we'll tackle three column layout, which use the same principle but a little extra finagling. In this example, we will float all of the elements to the left using simple floats. You will see that we are quite tied to the order in which the three floated elements appear in the source. The strategy: set set widths on all three columns to the left and float them to the left. Clear the footer to keep it in the bottom of the page. The underlying structure and resulting layout is here. Okay, so we have this left and right. Okay, so we 22.5, 45 and then 22.5. This would be 45, 45 and then 2.5, 2.5%. Trouble left. Okay, lengths on the left, right. Okay. The markup shows that we have a total of 5 divs in the document: header, links, footer. Then use simple floats alone. If you want the main content column to appear in the middle, the links in the news column, then main div needs to appear between the source. We'll break free from the source order upcoming any order column using negative margin, for example. All three columns are given widths and floated to the left. Care must be taken to ensure that the total width of the margin measurement is not greater than 100%. Right. Now you try it. Okay, we've seen a lot of examples so far of 2 and 3 column layouts using floats. In both fluid and fixed width layouts, I think it is time you try some of these techniques out using 3 columns fluid layout. We just looked at as a starting point. The file for this exercise, Mount Olympus exercise 1.html, is in the materials folder, this chapter. Okay, the resulting style, okay. The outline styles are included, but you cannot comment, but you can comment out, wrap them to hide them. If you want to turn the outline off and hide the layout without them, okay. First rearrange the side column so that links is on the right side and news is on the left side. You don't need to change the markup, only a few style values. Right. I can do that. I can effectively do that. 516 16.1. Where are the materials for this book? Size material, chapter 16. Okay, so Mount Olympus exercise 1.html. Alright, so it says that first rearrange the side columns. Okay, how does it look currently? Okay, it looks like this. Okay, outline is on. First rearrange the side columns so that link is on the left side, news is on the left. Okay, so that's easy. Okay, so links, it says that first rearrange the column so that links is on the right side and news is on the left. Okay, currently links is on the left side, news is on the right, so I can float it. I can float this guy. Yeah, let's keep it left, but let's float it right, and let's see what happens. Oh, right, okay, so I do have links. Okay, you don't need to change the markup, only a few think and think float directions. Okay, so alright, hold up. So we go right and then right, right and then right. Okay, then I just need to pad them in the correct order. Be sure to adjust the left and right margins on the side column. Okay, so I want news to have a left margin, news to have a left margin of, let's say, 2.5%, and let's forget about the right margin. Then it is in the right, so obviously it should have, okay, this is better. And it is having a margin on the left, which we don't want. We want a margin in the right. Okay, this is hanging, which it shouldn't. Well, let me see. 5 is 45, 45. Okay. Be sure and to clear the footer, right? Isn't the footer cleared? Oh, clear both. We clear on the both, and there we go. Great. So let me make some changes here. I'll show what changes I have made. Dude, I don't want to buy. Shit. Okay, so it was float left, and I changed it to float right. Then the margins were like 0, 0, 0, 2.5%, and I switched it out. Then this was float on the left, and this was floated. This too was floated on the left, but I've changed the margin. Okay. Margin 0, 2.5%, 0, 0. Okay. Then clear. It was only clearing on the left. I cleared on both sides. Then next, convert the fluid design into a centered fixed width design. This time you will need to add some markup. C2 column fixed example. Okay, so I would need to make sure they appear in the same order as they are. Okay, so we have, see the 2 column fixed example, 2 column fixed. This is the 2 column fixed width, right? In the markup, okay, so I need to wrap it in a single div, right? Okay, so this is 2. You need to wrap it in a single div. Okay, 2 column fixed layout. Now convert this fluid design into a centered fixed width design. Okay, centered fixed width design. Alright, so we'll go header, okay, header, and okay, so we create a div with id wrapper, and then I end the div, header footer, this div should be with this div. Oh, yeah, okay, so it is being closing, say closing, what is wrapper, closing wrapper. Okay. then I want to make some changes in the, okay, so I'll go wrapper, and I'll say that width equals width is 1080 pixels. Ooh, oh, 1920, sorry, 1920 pixels. C2 column 6 left need help. The resulting page shown here is like fixed and centered, and okay, let me go a little, 12, I'll go with 1280 pixels, but I'll add margin on both sides. There we go. Now this is centered. I can center this too. Right, I can go with the footer, I clear both, and I can go, I want you to display as a block element, and then I can margin auto, it should be centered. No, I used it wrong. can I add? I don't think we have margins on single. Okay, header, footer. Okay. So I have a fixed 3 layout column, fixed width. Alright. Okay, I think I should remember. So this is done. This is new style rule. We don't work like that. New style rule. Okay, so within the style sheet, other rules, previous rules, previous rules. So fix the width and then we set the margin to auto. Alright. And we have any order column using negative margins. When float based layouts are beginning to gain, hold up, now I am really pseudo selector, specifying box dimension element, shadow, assigning display roles. Yes, there we go. We can assign, you should already be familiar. Display roles, display property, display block. The display property defines the type of element box an element generates in the layout. In addition to the inline block display role, you can also make an display block. Okay, so when we display it as block, okay, the random assigning display roles of HTML. Another useful display one. Okay, there was one property that would change default scroll. That would change as block elements. Assigning display roles, float, gradient, attribute, background, element box. There was something that would make it display box sizing. Okay, regardless of the method you choose, you can only specify width, height for block level elements and non-text inline elements such as try to inline on the list. Okay. See, there's a way to apply width and height. Oh, okay, so I can apply a display property. Okay, see, that is what I tried to do with the footer. Okay, I will display it as a block element. Does that change anything? No, it will not change anything if we forget about the padding. Padding is between the border. Shit, yeah. Okay, there we go. So padding is between the border and the content area. And okay, so I have this padding. Display, then box sizing. Okay, then I can go. Uh, I will have box having content box. Then I can go box sizing. Box sizing is content box, and then I can add a margin of auto. Nope, box sizing. Then I can define the width to be, if I go 100%, what happens now? Content box or border box. Oh, width. Width. If I go auto, which is auto, and then I go margin left and right, I want it to be auto. It still does not center it. This footer. Okay. We have a paragraph in here, and we don't close that paragraph. Right. We close that paragraph, and I'll choose specifically header footer. We go paragraph from footer. Okay, now it disappears. With auto, and it won't reappear. Will it reappear now? Nope. Now we have this. We clear it on both of the sides. Okay, and if I forget the P element, with sizing the content box with this many pixels. Okay, hold up. Let's selectors. Let me. Where are the selectors? Test yourself. Yes. Okay. So selectors. Where are selectors? Pseudo limit attribute selector. Formatting text. Sheet work attribute selectors. Test yourself. Okay. I think I had on selectors. This one. Are there selectors? Yes. Okay. Dude. The big concepts. Okay. Okay. Pseudo class selectors. view properties, a few more selectors. Okay. That is all. The big concepts: inheritance, document structure, pass it on. But there were selectors somewhere, though I don't really. Yeah, group selector. Okay, group selector. Then ID selectors. No ID selectors. These are group selectors, and then okay, a few more types of selectors. We have, this is element selector. This is group selector. This is descendant selector. This and this. Okay. Child selector. Okay, yeah, within. Okay, so all IDs then. Okay, so my rule was wrong. There we go. Shortened it, and then I will try to display it as block element. What does that do? Nothing. But I want to add a margin of 0 and auto. Okay, it just let me give it a width of 1280 pixels. Okay, so it extends. I want to pad the content, right? Padding is 15 on all sides, so I'll go trouble right. Auto on top and bottom. Fifteen sides, so I want top and bottom should be 15, and right left should be what? Ooh, top and 15. Padding. Okay, if I got 20 pixels on top and bottom. Trouble. Content needs to be shifted to the left. Okay, 0 0 0 0. Trouble. Right. So I'll go. I need to pad it 50 to the right. From the right, I don't want to pad it from the right. I want to pad it from the left. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I'll go auto. Auto. Okay, but it does not work that way because it does not know its length. So I will display it as a block element, right? Um, Within the margin. Okay, I got it now. Text, right? Okay, borders, padding, right? Okay, so visible, hidden scroll. The value decides how to handle overflow. Okay, handling overflow. Overflow, specifying height. This is the content area, padding area. So I can can define the border box, um, the border box model. We have a width of, okay, so the I define that box sizing is border box, and then width is 100%. Okay, but let's forget about padding for now. What does this looks like? Nothing. Box sizing, border box, block, clearing from the foot. Okay, if I bring back padding, it was 15 pixels alongside, I believe. Padding is 15 pixels on the outside. This width is 100%, so I want to auto on all. If I go auto, okay, it is just reduced to this thing. And when we resize it, it is fixed length, right? Okay, so it is fixed length, but say I forget about the fixed length. About fixed length, then this automatically gets right. Okay, so this is on the left, but I want to center it. I want to keep the text in the center. So what do I do? Outline is okay. To keep the footer in the center, I'm clearing both. I have a width, and then I want to make sure that it is padded equally on both sides. So top and bottom, I'll just say 15 pixel, but on left and right I'll pad it with what is the half, 50%. Okay, somewhere we're getting somewhere, so I'll go 0%. Block order. Maybe if I don't display it as a block and I simply go like this. Oh, still padded 10% on the top and bottom. Oh, 1%. So it is somewhat centered. I think footer, I should go footer and then footer, what does that do? Padding within the footer. So it was 15 pixels on all sides. Clearing both. If I go P from footer, then this. And if I go footer alone, I want to display it as a block level element, and I want to add a margin of 0 on the top of the auto. How do I center this guy? Right. Okay, how are these centered? These are block level elements. Right. How are these centered? These are centered with because they are floated. They are floated next to each other. And then have a margin on the left and the right. So footer, okay, it is already, and I want to add a margin of, let me say, 2.5% on left and right. Okay, margin, right? But I don't want to add margin. I want to make the content within this, so it is, the content needs to be padded 15 pixels here, and I'll then go 0.5% on the left and right. No, 10%. Oh, there we go, 10%, then we have 25%. Alright, so needs to come a little more to the, okay, there we go. Okay, so we have a padding on both sides. But it looks weird now. Right, there needs to be something which automatically fixes itself. Margin is auto, so it is always centered. Okay, so now I can move on. Okay, yeah, how was it being centered in the Genware? Right, I have in the Genware this is centered, but how does she center it? Right, is that the neighbor testimonials, content, and then this is the PID copyright. Okay, text align center. Fuck, man. This is, I want to align the text in the center, so forget about yours. This is 15 pixels, cool on the right. I just want to align the text in the center. And that's it. That is all I had to do. Okay. Nope. Okay. Now I can finally move on. Position layout, nope. Still, yeah, okay. So any order column using negative margins. When floated layouts were beginning to gain steam, many designers wondered, is there a way to do 3 column layouts that is independent from the source order? Turns out the answer was yes. The trick is to use magic of negative margins and heaping a tablespoon of math. A little bit of math never hurt anyone. The technique was first brought to light by Alex Robinson in his classic 2005. Okay. So you have the strategy: apply widths and floats to all three column elements and use a negative margin to drag the left column across the page, resulting into left position. The underlying structure and resulting layout is same. Notice that although main comes first in source, it is in the second column position. Okay, so we have this one. So we float it to the left, but we go margin left is and margin right is 20 pixels. Then we float it to the left. So from the left edge, I have pushed it to the right. Okay. First is width, weight layout. Pushing margin left. Shit. Okay, length margin of negative 60. Okay, lengths are here. This is the original one. Margin left, margin right, and then margin 2. I get all the way here. Alright. Okay. So I think I will have to continue it next time around. A good day. Good session.